All right, so we're gonna be doing fucking TFL at war. And it's, you know what? It's kind of funny. Like, I gave this motherfucker an opportunity. You can actually see my one of my past live streams that I did recently on my YouTube channel, where I gave this motherfucker the opportunity to have a conversation with me, and he was like, "No, I already know what you're gonna say, so I don't need to have a conversation with you." And I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Um, oh shit. My fault if I mispronounced your name. I'm sorry. I barely pronounced my name correctly. So, let's talk about Bill Greathouse. And Bill Greathouse is just a conspiracy. The conspiracy will get you. And he makes content, and like I literally got on his I was doing a stream, and he challenged me to come on his debates, which are usually held Saturdays around right around now. And if you want to hear some hilarity or just an old man ranting like OK Boomer, like if OK Boomer became human, that's what that man is. Um and well, let's just let's just look at this video. He's reviewing a propagandist video talk about there's no such thing as overpopulation. Now, this is context. I don't think that any of these guys speaking understand the difference between overpopulation and an overcrowded planet. Just because there is space to fit people in one specific area of the world doesn't mean that we have enough resources, we have enough food, enough, support on the planet to support a shit ton of people. I think they said the maxed out amount of human population that we can have on the planet is about 10 million. That's the max amount of human beings that we can have that the life that can support on this planet. 10 billion, excuse me. I'm sorry, 10 billion. Wow, it is getting late. And a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, there's deserts that you can put people in. There's this, but yeah, it's about the human population that we can actually support. And with climate change happening, we're not going to be able to support even those soon. But let's continue.
Okay, so I'm going to do a reply to this, and I'm not planning this whole thing, or I could turn it into a 4 hour show. And I'm not turning this into no 4 hour show. So, but what I want to talk about is at the very beginning, and this is channel's Truth Media. Now, I understand Truth Media is an employee of the establishment.
Okay, okay. At least he's not saying that there's a conspiracy. And this is where I kind of understand what he's trying to say. And he's literally saying that there's an establishment. And I get that. I get that there's an establishment, and a lot of these people that are in the establishment, it's they don't rock the boat because it's their boat. But some malicious intent or disinformation campaign, like we're telling you just a little bit of a truth to, like, I don't believe that shit is happening. Although I do think that people actually lie in order for their own self interest and profit. And some of it is power, but a lot of it is they have convinced themselves that, it's not that bad, or I'm not gonna be hurt. Yeah, he is old as fuck. He's like in his 60s.
Okay, I don't have no doubts about that. But that's not the point. The point is they tell a lot of truth as well. And it's the truth that I'm interested in, not the propaganda.
But but if you ever read the book, and I plan on getting it, but one of the famous quotes from the book Propaganda is that everyone else does propaganda, but when we say it is customer relations or it's relations, it's public speaking. Propaganda is something that we all do. If you espouse a belief that has a political leaning or a leaning to actually, how do I put it, just a leaning to encourage somebody to do something or believe something, that really can't be considered propaganda. Now, what you do with that information, that's different, but I don't. You're poisoning a well. Like, for real. We already know this. Get to having a conversation about what you want to have a conversation about. I fucking hate this world, boss. Yeah, maybe I have a thing about snakes. Fucking hate that big ass snake. All that shit kind of creeps me the fuck out. But let's continue.
And this is a topic that How by the Dashboard Light has talked about, that Mr. Hope has talked about, and that I've briefly talked about. And so, yeah, I think there's some stuff missing from the equation here. And I think
I
y'all know
love
what
this
that
guy
is.
breaking out.
It's the big white elephant in the room. Somehow
I've heard of pink elephants, but the big white elephant in the room. God, this guy's a boomer.
it's been left out of this. Go figure, huh? So let's play this part and let's add the big elephant, white elephant in the room to it. Because they're leaving that part out like always, you know.
This has come up a lot, but we saw this specifically in the New York Times while we were traveling. They're openly acknowledging and admitting that China is facing a demographic crisis and that there is indeed, quote, a global fertility crisis.
Okay, cool. Um, okay. Yeah. China fucked up with their one child policy. And I'm definitely not gonna make an excuse for that. Some of the shit, vile shit that they did to help enforce that. But and you have to understand one thing, not but you have to understand one thing. You have to understand that China has 1 billion people that was mostly in an agrarian society, a society that's based off of agriculture. And when you have a poor society, they usually fuck a lot and have a lot of kids. Some of those kids die, and with the invention of modern medicine, so a lot of those kids actually live now. And why do you need a lot of kids if you live in a farm society? Well, to have them work the farm. Now, they the Communist Party in China pulled that country from like farmers to a mostly industrialized nation. And one of the reasons and the ways you do that is in a short amount of time. Let's actually just say that it was a short amount of time. And what happens is when you're actually building wealth in your nation, birth rates go down. Birth rates are high in poor, impoverished nations because, one, women aren't educated. And so, with less education of women, you have them seen as just baby making factories. And when you educate women, usually birth rates go down because they're able to join the workforce. Now, be it good or bad, I say that's mostly good because what happens is life expectancy goes up. So, you don't have as many kids, but people actually live longer. and they have better lives because resources aren't spent on raising 10 kids. Resources are spent on improving the lives of the people who actually survive. And if you're still in that amount of culture shock where you think that you need to have 10 kids in order to be able to work the farm as you had when you didn't have that many kids, and then yeah, they did some fucked up shit. If I was in their position, would I have made the same decision? I don't know. But I am American. Yes, I am American. But let's listen to this.
that is underway. And,
That's right. So you hear the topic?
and you know, after more than a decade of studying eugenics and following these issues and trying to really understand what's underneath them and what it really means under the propaganda, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, but it seems significant for the New York Times to acknowledge it on page one. And yes, it was an op ed, but they openly just talked about what a mistake it all was with China's one child policy, the overpopulation.
It was a mistake. They are living with those consequences. A generation of people who, especially where it was preference that people would have boys, they're living with a generation of a lot of men who can't get wives. They try to engineer a culture where we would have one child, and not we, but they would have one child, and it backfired because people valued boys' lives over women. And when you have that situation where little girls weren't actually kept, then you run the risk of not being able to have the dynamic of two reproducing sexes, not genders, but reproducing sexes. And you run into this mini crisis, which can easily be avoided if it can be resolutions. It's not one big resolutions, but you can find ways of actually resolving the issue. But let's continue.
Population bomb crisis, and these are all corollaries to the ongoing environmental crisis that is currently being propagandized about. So it seems
Yeah, he'll go into the environmental thing, and we're not going to go into that in this part of my video, but I will leave.
Why not go into it? Like, literally, it is one of the reasons why they did it, because they felt like they couldn't feed all of their people if the exploration, if the exponential growth of their people were to continue. They literally said, we need to make sure that we have this policy in place so all of our people won't die. Some people may be happy and it may lead to some terrible shit. But they were in a pinch where they felt that there were things where it was like, eventually would all of our people die? Now, they didn't respond to the fact that some people would purposely try to have boys, and if they didn't have that result, they would end up doing terrible shit. They didn't think that far in advance, and I will give that was unexpected consequences. But let's continue.
The link to this video and to their channel underneath, okay, in the more section for you. So anybody that wants to come and watch this entire thing can. And I would think that you should, because they do put a lot of truth here, and it is going, they are linking it right into the environmental and the global warming and the on and on. But I'm not interested in that part, so let's go on.
significant. So it's this
But it's connected, dog, and I'm just not being alarmist. It is connected. If you have too many people, shit, the planet, like, I know that a lot of people think that we can affect this big ball of a planet, but it's the camel that, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. every small step can actually hurt it. And you know what? The world will be fucking fine. You know, I'm here to say that the world won't end if climate change happens and destroys humanity. But notice it will destroy humanity. The Earth is gonna keep spinning along till the fucking sun swallows it up in 4.5 billion years, give or take a few billion, or give or take a billion or two. That's the thing. It's the world is gonna be fucking alright. It's humans that's not gonna be around. But let's continue. Did I get them all? Did I get everything that I could out of here?
Op-ed by Ross Douthat that we saw. I mean, go ahead and read him some passages.
Yeah, I just really quickly want to mention, just because they slap the word opinion on something, when you print this on the cover, the front page of the New York Times, that's promoting that viewpoint.
Wait. What? I'm trying to react to his video and try to react to their video. Wait, what? Like, that's... What was up? What's up with that word salad? It's like saying, yeah, of course, it's an opinion piece. Op-ed, opinion piece. It is literally saying that, you know, this is our opinion. These are some facts that prove our opinion, but this is our opinion. I don't get it. Like, are they supposed to say, like, is it that you're mad because they're putting this out in the open and other people may actually think about this shit? Like, for real? Like, all right. Let's continue.
They can try to distance themselves by using the word opinion, but that doesn't mean anything. It's on the front page of the New York Times. So this is titled, China Faces a Population Crisis Anew, and when we saw it, we were just pretty blown away, because this comes after decades of this same publication and other mainstream publications that are held supposedly up as this grand standard of media, promoting the exact opposite belief, that the world is overpopulated, there's going to be a population bomb, the world is just going to fall out of space, I guess, with the weight of all the people and everything. And now...
Please don't tell me you're fucking... Like... That's not what this means, dog. And, like... Gravity, you fucking idiot. Gravity doesn't work that way. God, I believe these people who are are climate deniers are a step away from being flat earthers too. I'm just saying, like, yes, I am overgeneralization, making an overgeneralization, but like, would I be wrong though? But let's continue.
They're just admitting that all of that was wrong, and they're trying to act like it was all just a mistake. So we're going to read this to you and discuss it.
No. It's not wrong that overpopulation is a thing. It's the way China handled it that's the problem. Overpopulation is a thing. But that doesn't mean that we don't have any space for people. It means that we wouldn't be able to support people. That's what it is. They think when you say you're not able to support these people, they think it means that the weight of the planet won't support the people versus the food chain or some shit like that. But let's continue.
Because it's pretty mind-blowing. It says, in recent days, both this newspaper and the Wall Street Journal have carried reports on one of the most important geopolitical facts of the 21st century. The world's great rising power, the People's Republic of China, is headed for a demographic crisis. Like the United States and most developed countries, China has a birth rate that is well below replacement level. Unlike most developed countries, China is growing old without first having grown.
This whole replacement level bullshit is literally a racist idea of they can't replace it with enough of these same people. So there's a crisis. It's this whole nationalist bullshit where a lot of people feel that if it's not replaced by let's say in the U.S., white people, then it's a problem. If it's not replaced by, in this case, Chinese people, there's a problem. This whole replacement rate bullshit is a fucking dog whistle for nationalists that sit back and just don't like people that are different from them, or just may not be the quote unquote true insert country name here. But last time I checked, we were all fucking humans. But, let's continue.
Rich.
This is well understood by people who follow the news and who know about the issue. It's established. What it means is a secondary thing, but everyone knows this.
Whoa. Exactly my point. He says it. Everybody knows this. No, what it means is you're being a racist piece of shit. That's what it literally means. It means, and he points it out. Well, what it means, as secondary. No, what it means is not fucking secondary, because it means that people are saying that you're not this particular weren't originally born in this particular area, so you're not a real this. It's the same shit that you see about people that come across the fucking border, and it's like, well, they're not real Americans, but they're traveling thousands of miles, hundreds of miles to make it to America because they want to be here. I will call that real Americans any day, because, I wonder who started that whole idea of coming to this particular piece of land because they were tired of living where they were. Happy President's Day, people. Happy President's Day.
Except the general population still tends to go around talking about overpopulation and how there should be less children, and there's people who don't want to have children for that reason. I've overheard people bragging about getting abortion.
Wow, anecdote. I've heard people bragging about getting abortions. There are some people that don't want a big family. I get it. We're still living in an age where we're influenced by you're not a real man or woman because you haven't procreated. I get it. We're still living with that remnants. But there are people who are trying to buck that narrative where, yes, I may not be able to reproduce, but that doesn't make me anything less of a man or a woman or adult. I'm a person, and I'm a mature person that takes care of my responsibilities. I fit that mold. But that also goes to the definition of what's an adult, or what's a man, or what's a woman. This is where you get a lot of these people who say trans people can't be the gender that they want to choose, when literally gender is something that you choose to express in a specific way. It's your fucking choice. But let's continue.
Because of the population crisis,
Eugenics,
and that sort of thing. To each their own, make your own decision. But if you're making those decisions because you're misinformed,
almost as if you're making the decision to have a large family because you were misinformed by some fucking goat hoarders 2,000 years ago. I don't know. Pot, meat, kettle.
Believing all this propaganda.
Maybe I don't even want to
that's the majority of people.
step into that. It's just
It should be stepped into, because you have the average people walking around with this belief that they've been programmed with.
I call that the zombie apocalypse. That's what we.
Oh my God! Listen to him throw comments like the zombie apocalypse. I don't think you understand that, dog. And I don't think this idiot knows exactly what's one of the things that literally some of the things that people actually prepare for the zombie apocalypse for are literally neo-Nazis that's saying, well, they're the zombie apocalypse, they're standing for something. I wonder what they're standing for. A mass group of people that you have the guns and they don't, and they seem inhuman to you, but they have the shape of a human. I wonder what that would actually. It's almost as if you're comparing people to a fictional character that you can just mow down and shoot. But let's continue.
We have walking around right now is a bunch of zombies who think they're intelligently formed, and the only informed they've been is from whatever was the easiest that came their way.
I can say that same thing about religious people. What do they say about people in glass houses? If you really want to just degrade a people, just call them stupid and say like they're stupid because they believe this, they believe that. But the thing about it is that works both ways, genius. That works both ways. But let's continue.
Their television set in the school system, propaganda, 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 and that's what they believe because they're dumb. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't fix stupid.
For decades that
Oh, my fucking irony broke. Irony meter is broken when he just said that bullshit. That good bullshit. You can't fix stupid. What the fuck, Bill? Do you realize the shit that you just said, man? Let's continue.
the world is just so burdened with human beings. And see, part of the problem with it is a lot of people live in cities. So their entire perspective is based on what's around them physically, and they think, oh, this city's got a lot of people, so it must be like this everywhere. Then you actually leave.
No. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. It's not that the cities are full of people and there's a lot of people everywhere. No, people recognize that sustainability is exaggerated by what they see in cities. Sustainability is a thing. That's what the overpopulation crowd is talking about. Sustainability. We are running into a fucking crisis over sustainability. That shit is happening. But let's continue.
The city and travel in the world, and you realize there are large swaths of land that are completely void of all people. There's a lot of areas that are not populated at all.
And this is the simplicity of this thinking. Well, there's nobody here, so it must be actually, we have a lot of room to put people. The reason why nobody's there because it's uninhabitable. Literally, you can't grow shit in a lot of places. And yes, there may be a time where we can actually start growing shit in more harsher climates. But it's not possible everywhere. God damn. Like, I don't think they understand that. Let's continue.
Figures don't match the belief, and it doesn't matter though. They're not going out of their way to try and correct this. I mean, this is not the belief that's being promoted. So the fact that this is on the front page of the New York Times is pretty mind-blowing. When I tell people overpopulation is a myth, I get all kinds of hate and trolls and people trying to argue with me about it. But if you actually look,
it's almost as if they're trying to explain to you what overpopulation means, and you're just dismissing it because, but my holy book, but my facts that the specific industry that benefits from overpopulation actually helps.
look at the data. Most all of the developed world is under replacement rate, including the United States. All of us are.
Notice she said the developed world. Those poor brown people, they're gonna eventually take over because their replacement rate is so fucking high. And that's the key thing about it. A lot of these people that they don't believe that there's an overpopulation issues. There's underpopulation for a specific type of people. But let's continue.
All the countries are.
I mean, the thing is,
They're correct about it.
And
Every
listen to
single
Bill.
country is underpopulated, not able to replenish the numbers to keep up with the society. So the population of the society or the city is dropping.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's stupid in real time. This is literally stupid in real time. He didn't get the exactly what they were saying. This is stupid in real time. I wow. I did not realize that. He literally took that the developed countries are underpopulated to every country is. This is stupid. It's in real time. But let's continue.
As people are walking around still talking about the population crisis that's been programmed in ever since World War II, especially, at least.
How coincidental. It all started right after World War II. How coincidental. United Nations, Mensa.
The United Nations bill isn't looking to control you, dog. Like, seriously. They're just trying to make sure there aren't another world war. God damn. With the United Nations, you have freedom. People just don't want to have another fucking world war. That's the key, man. Like, seriously, like, no one wants to control you, man. You're not worth wanting to control. But people don't want to actually live through the ravages of world war. So countries get together, have conversations about things that can kind of like keep everybody, from dying in a world war. Like, the shit that we've had, two of them that were very, very costly in the expenditure of human life. But let's continue.
Okay, feminism, dividing the genders, dividing the races. Yeah.
Wait, how do we jump from the United Nations to feminism? I'm sorry. In dividing the races, literally, it's the United Nations. Like, I don't get how they're dividing. Like, they're literally trying to actually. Oh, so dividing means that because I can't rule over you in a specific way that I want to, you're oppressing me, so we're divided. Is that where we're going, dog? Let's continue.
How coincidental. It just all started right after World War II all over again. Yeah.
Heavily.
The reason why it started then is because we had this group of people called the League of Nations, which was incredibly weak, and so the United Nations was built to make sure that we had a stronger unifying body across the world with global citizens to make sure that we don't have another world war. Like we used to have the before the strong constitution, the states, the confederative states, or something like that with the U.S. And yeah, it's that whole thing about if you want a governing body in order to be able to assist you with enforcing it. A lot of people don't want that governing body to enforce the rules on them, but on other people. But we all have to come together and believe this, and believe in this governing body. We all have to have faith in this governing body. But like people like Bill is like, no, oppress the other people. Give me fucking total reign. But let's continue.
For the last 50 years plus.
Before we talk about ideological penetration itself, let's take a look at the reasons why this form of penetration is so important.
And
ideological penetration. Oh, that's lovely. Let's continue.
And it's misinformed opinion that's now acknowledged to be untrue. And yet the purpose is there. This is about the power relationship. And as we go further into this, you've got to understand admitting there's a global demographic.
I want to call something real quick. This is about the power of relationship. Uh-huh.
Wait,
Power of
what?
relationships.
Wait, what?
Relationship.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I?
Communication. People knowing what they're doing. A strong family unit. A man and a woman who actually took the time to know each other, even if it took them decade, 2 decades to find their partner. When they did.
Wait, I'm confused. Weren't we just talking about population control and the eugenics that he's kind of worried about? Now we're jumping to relationships? Bill, dog, are you really just a one-trick pony? I understand shit. If you're gonna be a one-trick pony, I give you that. But like, really, dog? Like, really? Let's continue.
Find their partner, they were very happy together. Yeah, they found true happiness, which is really success. That's what success is happiness. Success isn't.
Actually, no. People have different meanings of success. Like, some people feel that they need to be rich beyond their wildest imagination to have success. That's your definition. That's you imputing your definition onto what I may impugn. Like, shit, I may want to actually be a fucking artist all over the world where people know my shit or know my commentary. Doesn't even mean that I have to be rich, or it doesn't really mean that I have to be happy. I can just have success that way. No. I think you mean the other way around. Happiness can be derived from success, or it can be from relationships, or it can be from isolation. Humans evolved a lot different. That isolation will make people happy. I guess that's the reason why you're in the position that you're in. But let's continue.
Materialistic items and money. No, that's not success. What you've been told success is not success at all. Never has been success. Success is true happiness. And if a man and woman actually took the time to get to know each other.
Notice he also said that it may have taken them decades to find each other. Like, no, that's not how this works, dog. What if, God forbid that a man may want another man that make them happy, or a woman that may want another woman, or a woman that may want 2 or 3 men, or a man that may want 2 or 3 women, another man, another. Like, you can't say this is my reason. It goes back to, well, I don't like this particular way, so it's wrong and bad and disgusting and nasty. Dude, fuck you.
And it took 15, 20 years before you found your mate. When you did find your mate, or if you got lucky and found him in school during your time of growing up. But when you find your mate, regardless of what a time it took, and the reason I say 15, 20 years is because you might.
That's his experience. Like, let's be honest with you. That's what he's implying. That is his experience. That it took 15 to 20 years for him to find the one true love that he thought he should actually have. Hey, I'm not being cruel at all. Like, literally, that is the reason why he's saying it, because that's his lived experience. But let's continue.
Meet a few women along the way, and it didn't work out because it wasn't really meant to be. But when you find that right woman, you're going to achieve real friendship, best friendship, companionship, happiness, and real love. And if that happens, well, then both guy and woman are very happy. They're content. And guess what happens when you have strong family units and people are happy and content? Oh, when
I struggled with that. Like, what did he mean in contempt? He means that they are content. Oh. Like, I know, and let me make sure I say it correct. Brianna, I'm fucking it up. Where just like he said, please don't tell me that's Brianna. bred. I don't know. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. Horrible with names. So, but he sounds old as fuck, and yeah, he is old as fuck. But yeah, like for real, like dog, you sound you have issues, man. But let's continue.
Tyranny happens and crap from above happens, they tend to rise up and they tend to say no. But if we're not happy and we're miserable and we're divided, then that don't happen, does it? No, because we become weak.
Wait, how did we become weak? Because we don't have the same relationship styles that we had before? We became weak because of that? I'm confused.
Earth, that the demographic population is falling out like a crumbling mountain, is an acknowledgement that we're facing a return to global poverty. You know, this is an age of austerity, and they've actually sold us on the reason for choosing to do it instead of accepting it as an inevitability is to help the earth, to save the earth, to address the environmental and ecological crises, when it's really a result of their pushing of this issue.
Yet we are increasing our population.
We're in an age of austerity because rich fuckers don't want to spend money to help everybody else. They want to save their money in order to fucking facilitate their own self-interest. That's why we're in an age of austerity. Did I say the quiet shit out loud? Oh.
As if they were infinite. This fact is at the core of our environmental problems.
The number of people in the world has increased as much in the past 50 years as it increased in 1,000 years before.
Because this...
Yeah, because, you know, we've had shit like medicines and vaccines and things that make people, you know, live past, you know, the age of 2 when they used to die from, you know, preventable diseases now.
This is about diminishing the individual and enhancing the collective, taking the power away from individuals and families and re-collectivizing society. This is about taking...
Okay, because we're a society and we should actually work to make everyone's lives better instead of just saying, fuck you, I got mine, fuck you. Like, where's the problem?
Taking global problems that require global solutions so that somebody can get global jurisdiction.
Right.
So, yeah, fuck poor people. Because reasons? Oh, no, but it's okay because it's their problem, not ours. Which, in reality, we actually make it our problem because not addressing a lot of the climate change issues actually makes it all of our problems. But let's continue.
Global problems that affected global people, globally the people, created by, well, the very bodies people you're looking at right there. See, the problems were created for us. Problem, reaction, solution. Yeah. It just didn't accidentally happen, you know. You just didn't accidentally have this happen. This all started.
No, it didn't. It started because we try to make more people live into adulthood, and one of the consequences of that, which is good or bad, is that there are more people to feed, and when those people feed, then they actually, you know, reproduce, and when those people reproduce, they have kids that we need to feed. Again, I'm like, who's preaching for eugenics again?
Really deeply after World War II. They already started moving on with their next agenda. And through baby steps since World War II, we have divided the genders, broke up the family unit, divided the...
One of the things that was quote unquote bad in World War II is that women realized that they had freedom to, I don't know, be something more than just baby maker factories. And that actually scared a lot of these guys because what ended up happening is these guys actually they wanted to keep control of the women like they had in the past. And no. But let's continue.
The races even further than they was divided. And we got everybody at war with themselves, fighting over fluff and stuff.
Just like there may be true force only guys that are at war. But let's continue.
And nobody willing to back up and use their brain. Okay, that's what we have going on here.
You know, but how is it being sold? Not in that way. This should be a wake-up call.
Before I continue, I just want to point out too that they came out and said that China's population was going to be stabilized in 2029. That was last January 2019. Then they had to come out 5 months later and admit that actually it could happen in 2023. That is how quickly this is going on. Like it is.
Okay, yeah. It's not an exact science. And, okay, their population can stabilize. That's fine. That means that with the stabilized, like, what is, first you're for eugenics and then you're against it and then you're for it. Like, is this what right-wing reactionaries actually only have? Do they just throw shit against the wall and hope it sticks to some poor idiot?
We're going to see this happen in our lifetimes, that these populations in various countries are going to stabilize and start going down quickly because people are not having children. A lot
Right here, no, this is part that's funny.
of it is the propaganda, but a lot of it also is there's a huge issue with people being infertile.
Ah, see, this is the part that just floors me. I would agree that we have a problem with people being infertile.
Yeah, because for one, there are people that are waiting later on in life to actually try to have kids, and whereas that is an admirable thing where someone is trying to wait until they're submitted in their career to try to have a family, it can also lead to lower rates of fertility. Also, people aren't just baby making factories. That's not a thing where people are just required to make babies to replace other people. You shouldn't have that whole mentality that that's all people should actually do. It makes no fucking sense. It's almost as if no one has any self-worth but to make kids. No.
But not what they're telling you here. This is the cover-up. This is to cover up the big white elephant in the room. This is to cover up the division of the genders. This is to cover up the more, I would agree, nowadays is probably more 90-10 instead of 80-20. 90% of the female population are chasing after 10% of its men, leaving the rest of the men to die alone. Well, when you're talking about keeping up with the...
Oh my God. Really? Really? Are you really actually going to say that this is because of hypergamy, dog? That they're basically telling people to, they're trying to, like, Oh my god, I didn't watch this video all the way through. But this is fucking gold. But let's continue.
The numbers to replenish the population as people die, and you have 90% of the females only wanting anything to do with 10% of the men are in dating limbo, refusing to date. Okay, when you have the genders at each other's throats the way we do, when we have millions of men all over the world that can't even get a woman in their life through no fault of their own.
But it is a fault of their
But
own.
through the
They're
fault of social
assholes.
engineering and women falling for the lies as men fell for the lies, and going
Oh my
along with
god.
the social engineering, which divided the genders. So you have millions of men who can't even get a woman in their life. Well, that's a lot of babies that will never be born to replenish.
Like, for real. Like, well, babies won't be born. They'll just be on the napkin. Like, for real, that's how this shit sounds. Like, this is irritating. Not because, like, I don't believe him, but it's just like, dude, is it that serious to reproduce? Like you're saying, like, do you? I don't know. I think this broke me. It's close to 12, close to my birthday, and I think I'm gonna leave it here. I want to thank everybody who's watched today, and remember, I'm gonna release these videos tomorrow on my YouTube channel. Well, I'm gonna release them throughout the week on my YouTube channels. I want to thank everybody who's watched today, and thank you guys for enjoying Crimson 60620. Peace.